See, depreciation is nothing but loss of value of assets. Now, my question is why the value of the asset is lost? In what are the scenario the value of the assets is going to be lost? In what are the types of assets the value of the assets may be lost? When it comes for the land, will it lose its value or increases its value? Predominantly increases, then usually we won't create any depreciation for the land. But of course, we can sometimes create the depreciation for the land also. Sometimes the land may lose its fertility, or the land may have its mineral. After the extraction of the mineral, the land's value may go down, may also be possible. So we should not always confine ourselves prejudice or any other knowledge. You try to expand your views by applying practically. There's a landmine. Okay, you might have seen the movie KGF. Huh? If you are extracting the gold, after the extraction, what happens to the KGF? How many of you visited KGF recently? Probably around 5 years or 10 years within that limit. How many of you visited KGF? Around 15 years ago, I visited KGF. I went there and showed me this is KGF. I just roam around there and no one is allowed to enter inside. Because of mining the gold, there may be lots of pit holes. Okay, if you fall down, you will not come out. That's the biggest mine there. Is there any gold available in the KGF still? Yeah, of course, gold is available. But to extract one gold and purify, it costs us 10,000 rupees. Already it's available in the market for 4,000, 5,000 rupees. Extracting for 10,000 and selling for 5,000 is meaningless. So the KGF is now kept vacant. That entire premises, that entire land is now kept under surveillance, that no one should enter inside. Why? Not in the fear of stealing the gold, because the stealing of gold is not possible there anymore, but still the fear of life. If any people enters into that, and there may be risk of losing the life also. So because of that pit hole and all, it's dangerous now. I just surprised if they could have planned ahead, the land could have been after removing the gold, they could have reset for any other purposes. No, now they've lost the entire land. It's kept idle. The same happens when we extract the copper and whatever it may be from the land. Thereafter, the land becomes useless sometimes. Okay. See, always you should not have the blind idea that land will be always appreciated. Sometimes it may be depreciated also. Anyhow, in general, land is non-depreciable asset. It's not going to be depreciated. And depreciation is already we have seen the value of asset is being lost, which is nothing but depreciation. Now, the main reason, some of the reasons are going to be discussed here. Causes of depreciation, some of the main reasons are going to be highlighted here. One is physical wear and tear. Okay, if you are constantly using, the value of the asset will definitely go down. This is due to loss. Sorry, due to use. If the value of the asset is lost due to use, then it is called physical wear and tear. If you purchase a gold chain with 8 grams, 1 sovereign, sometimes later, 1 year later, if you go and verify, the weight of the gold may be around 7.5 grams only. Half a gram may be lost. Somehow, because of the usage, it will lose its own value. That loss is called physical wear and tear loss. And sometimes it may be passage of time, effluxion of time. Passage of time or simply effluxion of time. Okay. I may sometimes purchase some assets. The asset will be working only for 5 years. Already 3 years gone, thereafter only be left with the 2 years. Whether you use it or not, 3 years gone means the value has been lost to that extent. Is that okay? You top up your mobile for 2 years. If you don't use for 1 year, what happens? Can you enjoy the entire thing in the next year? No. You can enjoy only for 1 year. The next year it will be lost. Constantly you have to use. Whether you use it or not, the value of the asset will lose. Because of what? Passage of time. Passage of time. That will be otherwise named as effluxion of time. 3. Obsolescence, outdated. Okay. Nowadays we have only what type of mobile? Android predominantly. Anybody using still that same button mobile? It's again a problem for us. We don't have that mobile. I don't know for how long we are going to use this mobile, Android mobile. Sometimes later, smart watch will come and smart glass will come. Okay, except smart people, right? So all the gadgets may be smart in the coming days. So once a new thing comes, the old things becomes useless. We are not going to use it anymore, right? So the old mobile is now not available, and old-fashioned watches. How many of you are still wearing the watches? Okay, in our days when we studied in college, no, the charm is purchasing the different varieties of watches, sports watch and all. And when I referred the financial reports of Titan, surprised that company is making huge profit. Only I got surprised. Who wears the watch? Most probably you are not wearing the watch for seeing the time, because already time can be seen from your mobile. One gadget is for all, but the watch is instead of bracelet somebody will wear. How many of you are wearing the watch instead of bracelet? Okay, here, there. Okay, very good. So the purpose is now lost. The purpose is lost, right? Obsolescence, outdated. Outdated. Outdated means old dated. Obsolescence. Value loss by change in technology or taste or fashion. Value loss by changing the technology, taste and fashion is called obsolescence. Fourth, depletion. Depletion, you might have heard about the term ozone depletion. So depletion is nothing but becoming lesser because of usage, becoming lesser. In a mining industry, I want to establish a mining industry, coal mining, copper mining, okay, then the oil ore extraction by Reliance, whatever it may be. They might have found out some oil mines nearby Godavari and there, okay, oil mines. They will examine how much quantity available there by scanning and some machines. They found that 1 lakh ton coal may be available here. 1 lakh ton. Will that 1 lakh ton be there? And always means no. If you start extracting each and every day, the mine available that will be reducing. KGF, Kolar Gold Factory. Gold was extracted by the time ruled by English. But now we don't have the gold because already extracted, the gold is not available. So the day by day, if you are extracting, the quantity available in that land will be decreasing. So that kind of assets will lose its value because of depletion. Because of depletion. See, imagine I find in a place, in this place beneath, we find out 1 lakh ton of coal. Immediately this landowner will give the rights to extract this to somebody else, probably XYZ. I may be the landowner, but I don't have the option. I don't have the capacity to extract and market it. Some corporate companies will have that facility. I can extract, I can do some refining work, and I can go for marketing also. But being the landowner, I don't have that option. So I just give my land in lease to the company. And the company offers me, sir, you can take 10 crore rupees for this. This 10 crore rupees I get. And the 10 crore rupees paid by the company. Okay, for that company. For me, it's a revenue. For the company, it's an asset. So the moment all the 1 lakh ton extracted, this 10 crore becomes zero. The 10 crores becomes zero. In the very first year, I extracted only 20% of this quantity. Rather than 1 lakh, I have extracted 20,000. To that extent of this value is now decreased, which is called depletion. To that extent. Physical deterioration of natural resources like ore deposits in mines and oil wells. For these kinds of assets, the license fee what I paid will be lost over its tenure, is called depletion. Fifth one is all about amortization. The term amortization is nothing but again depreciation for the intangible assets. If the assets being intangible, we don't call that being the depreciation, it is going to be called as amortization. Okay, just now I talked about COVID, Covishield and Covaxin, or the vaccines for COVID. They could have spent so huge money for the R&D. They might have spent around 1,000 crore rupees. 1,000 crore rupees. Is that okay? That's what about the intangible assets. They will now amortize. Amortize means depreciate this value in the P&L account. How do they depreciate? The business will run for around 3 to 4 years. Okay, now already COVID is gone, 2 years is gone. Now, very rarely the vaccination is used. Are you still using the vaccinations? No. The 1,000 crores they have used for R&D purpose is no more useful after 4 or 5 years. So they have to debit that to the P&L account over the 4 or 5 years. 250 rupees is going to be debited to the P&L account, the R&D expenses. They have spent the money for the research and development. They invented the Covishield or Covaxin. They got the patent rights from the government that I am going to sell this product. No one should copy me. Such a patent right I possess, but that patent right will have the value only for 5 years. So much of huge money is spent now could be spent within that 4 or 5 years. That's a logic. So each and every year 250 rupees is going to be debited to the P&L account. 250 rupees is debited to the P&L account, but that term is not called as depreciation, it is named as amortization. Sixth one is dilapidation. Dilapidation. Dilapidation is nothing but deterioration. Deterioration is nothing but value loss. Value loss. Here also I use the term deterioration. Due to old age, especially old building. Okay. Around 1 or 2 years ago, the old buildings were valuable. Has more revenue also. Do you know? Old buildings. Some years ago, if you are being in Tamil Nadu, you might have enjoyed the demand for the old buildings. Right? Through what? Lots of ghost movies in Tamil. A series of ghost movies. Kanchana 1, 2, 3, 4, everything came. Only using that old buildings, right? So the old buildings, no more is now useful. If you enter into the old building, we are not sure with your life. Any times the floor may be on your head. So that will also be happening. Hereafter, it's not worth living there. Such house property will be called as dilapidated one. Because of the old age, the value of the building is lost, can be debited to the P&L account in the name of depreciation. Seventh one, changes in economic environment. Changes in economic environment. Okay. Now, around 20 years ago, I had a bike, Yamaha bike. Probably 20 years ago, I had a Yamaha bike. So when I had a Yamaha bike, it seems to be a luxury one, like rather than going for a normal TVS, Suzuki and whatever the company, I had a Yamaha bike. Sridhar is using Yamaha bike. Now, you can see so many people coming with the car by default. Okay. Few cars and so many bikes were in the traffic signal. When you visit in Chennai or Delhi, you can see so many cars. Here are there 2 or 3 bikes you can find out in the traffic signal. Because the economic environment is changing there in Trichy, slowly developing. In Chennai also, you can see 50-50. 50% car and 50% bikes are standing in the signal. But once I grew in Delhi, surprised to seeing only cars, here are there 2 or 3 bikes. Okay. I told my cousin who was there in Delhi, I supposed to go here or there to roam around in Delhi. Immediately told me, just take my car. I said, car in Delhi may be surprising. No, you can manage. No, only I managed. Missing out of 3 to 4 times of the same route. So happened, then worst scenario and worst experience I had. Anyhow, I had the passion of driving car, manage that. Otherwise, I may be totally frustrated there in Delhi. Right. Though they have the bike, but they started driving only car, changing the economic environment. Though we are capable of going by either auto or car, we started moving only by car because we want to have the comfort. Though we can plan to go for a small bike ride, we plan to go for car. So that's what about the change in economic environment. Though you can plan to go by a non-AC train, you plan to go for AC. Not only AC, you need to go for a super fast express like Tejas. You want to expect for still more. That's what about economic environment. Still, the old trains are still working. But will you go that? No, because you are economically developing. So the economical environment change is also helping you to make the old material or old assets irredundant. Right. Expiration of legal rights. Expiration of legal rights. Is that okay? When you purchase some assets, the seller will tell you you are able to use it only for 5 years or 10 years. That's what about legal right. Beyond that, you cannot take. Okay. So license will be given to you. So you can use it only for 5 years. For example, Tally software and Windows software, whatever it may be, if you purchase, they will give only for 5 years. After the 5 years, you have to renew. So matter of 5 years later, it becomes zero. Some software, SPSS software is there, AutoCAD software is there. You are aware about the Windows. That's why I gave the example of Windows and MS Office. AutoCAD and SPSS software were very expensive. When I thought to purchase the SPSS, and by the time it was around 3 to 4 lakhs. Just imagine 3 to 4 lakhs. If I purchase a software for 3 or 4 lakhs after spending, they will give me the rights to use it for only 4 or 5 years. So within 4 or 5 years, that entire 2 lakhs will be lost, means you have to amortize over that 4 or 5 years. So these are the causes we have for the depreciation. Let me brief once again. Physical wear and tear, reflection of time, obsolescence, depletion, amortization, dilapidation, changes in economic environment, expiration of legal rights. Is that okay?